Well, Sean, obviously a disappointing way to see the 8-game run come to an end last weekend, but you can't get many better games than Luton Town away to find that response, can you?
No, and that's what we've got to look for. You know, we've, I suppose, internally always spoken about getting back on track. You don't win every game. No team does. I understand that completely, but the manner of which we conceded the goals hurt us all last week. I think we'll play worse than that and win between now and the end of the season. So to get back on track this weekend against Luton, you know, and the game for what it holds for everybody connected with both teams, I suppose, is a great opportunity.
Talked about what the game holds. It's a great recent history between the clubs, and it's obviously a fairly feisty rivalry at the moment as well. So it's something that everyone involved with the club to look forward to.
Yeah, and we should. You know, we should go there full of confidence still. I know we lost last week, but we're still in a good, you know, run of form. We're looking forward to the game. You know, we're 3 points behind Luton. You know, Luton have got their own agenda, and you know, I fully respect what that agenda is. You know, I suppose their intention this year is to get promoted. You know, and anything less than that would be, I suppose, you know, deemed as a failure. You know, for us, our agenda is progression, making sure that the football club goes in that direction that enables us to be promoted at the right time. So for us, at the moment that we are, you know, 3.5, 4 months of a real positive, you know, displays and performance levels, and that's what I'm expecting on Saturday.
I guess that the motivation is never a problem on the training field in the lead up to a game, but when it's against a local rival like that, a team obviously very close in the league as well, I guess it gives it that little bit extra edge too.
Well, I suppose it does, you know, and some would say why should it? But you know, that's that's just natural. It is. It's. I think it's that fire in the belly that you want it to be a big occasion, you know, a big opponent, big crowds, you know, travelling support's going to be wonderful again. So it is a big game, you know, and it's one that I'm really looking forward to. I enjoyed the game last year when we drew 0-0. You know, I didn't so much enjoy the game earlier on in the season when we lost 3-0. But even in terms of both performances against Luton, you know, I've been pretty pleased, you know, bar the last half hour where we conceded the goals earlier on in the season. I know what my team can do, you know, I do. I trust them. I trust that all the messages that we give them throughout the week, they can go and implement that on a Saturday. And we've done that, you know, more often than not. So as much as, you know, we feel it's a big game, I think it's a game that we should be going there, and, you know, we should be going there full of confidence.
In terms of preparations for the game itself, a real boost in the week, given that Harrison Dunk's returned to the training field.
Yeah, big boost for us. You know, we've had large amounts of our season where we've had too many players in that treatment room, and it's not as if they've just been in there for a day or two. You know, a lot of them have been there for a long time. So we said, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago, we didn't want to be risking players just on a Saturday afternoon when they've not trained on a Monday to Friday. H was called upon to be in the squad twice on the back of no minutes in training. Well, that's not fair. It's not fair on anybody to be judged on a Saturday afternoon when you've not trained in the week. This week's been different. You know, he's trained, you know, and he feels fitter and he feels stronger, and the problem with his hamstring seems to have, you know, disappeared for now. So pleasing for us, even more pleasing for H.
The situation with Brad Halliday, not quite as clear in terms of the decision you make with him, but when you've got the likes of Leon Davis, who obviously performed quite very well in his first league start for the club, waiting in the wings, I guess that's not too much of an issue at the moment.
Well, listen, to have Brad Halliday back, you know, firing on all cylinders, you know, he's a big player for us. You know, we brought him into, you know, to be that number 2. We brought him in to play consecutively and consistently, and he has done. You know, and unfortunately he's had that injury which has caused him to miss the last couple of games. But I thought that Leon done well last week. You know, he's a young player, you know, he's 17 years old. You know, he's come from the youth team, he was only at school last year. So to come and play and make his league debut is you know, it's great for his development. But that's all I'm looking at Leon at this moment in time, is developing that player into what we're all hopefully can be.
Another player obviously enjoyed an exciting weekend last week, and young player that is, Harry Darling with his first game online at Bishop Stortford performed well and gathered a lot of plaudits after that game too.
Yeah, clean sheet. You know, Bishop Stortford have not got many clean sheets this year, so for H to go in again at the last minute to meet his teammates probably on a Thursday night and pull on the shirt on a Saturday, you know, it tells you a lot about his character. It didn't surprise me, you know, it didn't. You know, we're expecting Harry Darling to be a Cambridge United player very quickly, And this is once again that next development for him, that next stage, aggression, dominance in terms of centre forward that he's going to be up against. The youth team's been great for him, and the youth team and all the coaches that have helped him along his way, none more so than Mark Bonner. It's allowed him to go and get himself some men's football, which is a head start. We're looking now for him to do his business at Bishop Stortford, help them, help himself to come into our group.
Just with Harry and Leon there, you're obviously both making great progress on the weekend, but taking sort of separate pathways really, and continue the development, but in different manners. Obviously one away on loan and playing regular men's football over there, and one within the first team fit at the moment. Yeah,
and I wouldn't say either one of them pathways are any more important than the other. It's vastly important that Harry goes away from this environment, an environment that he's very comfortable in, and goes into something very different, and he'll learn so much from that. Listen, Leon Davis is a year younger, he's got that 12 months where he's not had that kind of situation where he's become accustomed to his surroundings, albeit, working within the first team group. So, for Leon to go and get his minutes in the first team is great, but there's none either more important than the other.